So then guys, we've had a big leak in just recently telling us about the prices for the iPhone 17 models. And this includes the likes of the iPhone 17 normal and also the iPhone 17 Pro and also the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And I today want to show you all the details about this leak and also my thoughts behind it too. And also after this, we'll also cover over when the actual release date is going to be happening for the new iPhones. So we've heard from Edison Lee at Jefferies tip us off that the next generation of the iPhones are going to be going up in price. Now, before you go and throw all your toys out of the pram and go, what is going up in price? Well, I am going to tell you some interesting facts about the price about the iPhones in just a moment. But, let's get this out the way first of all. What are the new prices going to be? Well, we're going to focus on the baseline version of every model that we know about. And starting out then with the iPhone 17 normal, this is going to be the update over the normal iPhone 16. The great news is it does look like that this iPhone is going to be staying at the exact same price point of $799 US. So this is fantastic news to hear, especially that we've been hearing this is going to be getting an A19 inside of it. And also it's going to be getting Pro Motion for the first time, and it's also going to have a 6.3-inch display inside of this. Then on top of that, that display is Pro Motion, what's going to be fantastic, and it's a first from Apple to finally put this in their baseline kind of iPhone. And then obviously we're going to get the 48 megapixels in the ultra wide and the wide. So this is quite a good deal, I'm going to say, for the baseline iPhone this time round. So I, for one, am quite excited about that and that the price is staying exactly the same. Now, the next question you're going to be asking about is what about the iPhone Air? Well, this leak that we've had in, unfortunately, there is nothing about the iPhone Air. It's still, as it were, excuse the pun, up in the air. We don't actually know the price for this one. This one we just do not know. But personally, what I believe the price of this new model is going to be, it's going to be anywhere between $900 to $1,000 personally. Do remember the likes of the iPhone 16 Plus, that costs $900 right now. And this new iPhone 17 Air, well, obviously it's going to be a far thinner phone. And then obviously, you're getting that Pro Motion display, going to get the A19, 12 gigabytes of RAM inside of it. And obviously if you put all of these bits and pieces together, yeah, I've just got a feeling that this is what the price is going to be. Somewhere between $900 to $1,000 for this new iPhone. So yeah, that is how much that one is going to be. But where there's definitely looking like there's going to be a price increase, and that is going to be with the 17 Pro and also the 17 Pro Max this time round. The 17 Pro, we have been told now that the iPhone 17 Pro is going to be going up by $50 this time round. So instead of $999 US for the baseline version, this is now going to be $1,050 or $1,049. Then the likes of the iPhone 17 Pro Max starts at $1,199 US. Well, for the 16 Pro Max, I'm going to say. Well, the 17 Pro Max is also going up by $50 this time round. So it's going to be, $1,250 for this. Now, what I'm going to say with this is you might be thinking, whoa, these prices have gone up so much in recent years, and especially if you're somebody who's not from the US about iPhone costs. Because like me in the UK, I will say this, iPhones have gone up over the years, and they've also come down a little bit too. And the main reason behind that, it depends in which country you are in, and that what your currency is compared to the US dollar. That is a massive factor of the pricing of an iPhone. And then the other big part is obviously to do with your government in your country, of taxes and fees and import fees and things like this. How much they charge for that. That is also another big factor with this. So just be aware of that. But what I will say is the likes of, say, the iPhone 17 Pro, Well, you know, if we actually go back to its origins here of what it originally was, this was the iPhone 10. Now, the iPhone 10 or the iPhone X, when that came out back in 2017, that cost $999 with 64 gigabytes of storage. Obviously, it had, you know, the Face ID introduced for the first time, and obviously it was a far smaller phone. It was 5.7 inches, I believe, the screen size, and you know, things like this, promotional, anything like that. That was $999. Now, when we got to the 10s, $999. When we got to the iPhone 11, $999. When we got to the 12 Pro, guess what? $999. Then when we got to the 13 Pro, well, I believe it went up to 128 gigabytes of storage with that model, but you get it. The price stayed the same. And then the same with the 14 Pro, it stayed the same. 15 Pro stayed the same. 16 Pro, it stayed the same in US dollars. We are talking around about 8 years of where we've had the likes of, say, the Pro phone, what's gone from the iPhone 10 and, you know, evolved all the way up to the iPhone 16 Pro at the exact same cost. Even though we've had inflation and also that tariffs are on the horizon and they're going to come into play anytime soon. So for Apple to increase this by $50 8 years later, in my honest opinion here, not trying to, you know, say that Apple are the best thing ever, but I think that's quite good going. That it's gone up by $50 over 8 years for the first time, and that's going to happen this time round. Now, it's the same with the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, we've actually, if you take that, the iPhone XS, well, it was the first kind of larger one out there. Remember, that was the XS Max, or the XS Max. When that came out, that was $1,100. And remember, it had the exact same storage as the likes of the iPhone XS, and this was 64 gigabytes. And that price stayed exactly the same all the way up to the iPhone 15 Pro. But the iPhone 15 Pro, what Apple decided to do was completely scrap the lowest amount of storage, and they sold the next tier up. It was 256 gigabytes. So, you know, when we got the 15 Pro, we had the 15 Pro at 128 gigabytes, and then obviously we had the 15 Pro Max with 256 gigabytes of storage, and that was $1,200. But if you go back a year before for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, well, guess what? If you bought the 256 gigabyte model then, well, that would have also cost you the exact same amount. That would have cost you $1,200. So essentially, again, Apple really haven't increased the prices. And even if you go right back to, say, the iPhone XS Max, if you got the second storage, what was 128 gigabytes back then, that was $1,200. So you're getting my point here. It has not technically gone up. So this is a first time we're going up in around, say, 7-8 years, depending if you're looking at the Pro or the Pro Max. So yeah, just before you go, whoa, they're getting too expensive, just remember that fact there. But just quickly, guys, this here is the EcoFlow Rapid Pro, and it might be the smartest, fastest charging power bank I have ever tested. EcoFlow have just launched their Rapid series, 3 tiers of power banks built to keep your devices charged, whether you're commuting, traveling, or just cannot be bothered to get to your nearest charger at home. You've got the flagship Rapid Pro. This here has a 300 watt output, and it also has a massive 27,650 milliamp capacity inside this, and even a modular design with swappable cases, and also something I love, this animated LCD display. Yes, animated. It's basically a power bank meets a Game Boy. It's got 100 watts fast charging via retractable and lanyard cable, and powers up to 4 devices at once, including your MacBook, your iPhone, and say your Nintendo Switch too. But if you need something a little bit more everyday, well, the Rapid 25K, this one here, gives you a 170 watt output in a slim, travel-ready form, as you can see here. And this is great for remote work or students away on the move. And as I already mentioned, I have tested these with MacBook, iPhones, iPads, Nintendo Switch 2, and this is seriously fast, like industry leading fast. So in conclusion, if your tech is always running out of juice, then the EcoFlow Rapid series has your back no matter what tech product it is. And if you want to check out more details about these rapid power banks here from EcoFlow, make sure you check out the description below right now of this video. And with that, let's return back to the main video. So moving on from this then, what about the release date for these new iPhones? When are they going to be coming out? Well, to be honest, it's not that long now. We're talking around about 6 weeks from now. And the reason why I say 6 weeks from now at the time of making this video is that we've been hearing from Mark Gurman that the Apple event is going to be happening on week commencing September 8th. And most likely, Apple will probably do that event on a Tuesday or a Wednesday that week. So we are talking the likes of the 9th of September, the Tuesday, or the 10th of September, what is the Wednesday. This is the most likely time Apple will be doing that Apple event for the next generations of the iPhones. And then probably that Friday, the 12th, that is when you'll be able to pre-order these new iPhones. And obviously, depending on where you are in the world, it depends on the timing. Like here in the UK, I think it's about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. If you're like, for example, on the Pacific coast, you know, or like in California or something like that in the US, I think it's like 5 a.m. You'd have to look it up, but this is what the kind of typical time that Apple normally do this. But the actual release time when we have to get these phones in our hands for the first time is probably going to be a week later after that, in the late teens. And this is probably going to be the Friday, the 19th of September. That is the first time we'll be able to get these new iPhones in our hands, which is quite exciting. And like I said, it's not that far away now. But really, guys, that is the latest and greatest on this. What do you think about the iPhone prices? Let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. And of course, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care.